First of all, you have to understand the problem which is happening in the market. It can be in any segment. A problem can be like I was talking about the therapy part. Problem can be people are not getting a good haircut or maybe not getting a good food according to their taste. So there has to be a problem first. It has to be the genuine one. If you can actually, while working on that problem, if you can solve it better than someone else, and if you are giving some kind of an alternative maybe which is in the market, but at the same time you are giving an alternative, then that is the first part. From there you can start. Secondly, you have to be passionate about that particular thing. If you feel, because it is going to be a long journey, you have to create a business case out of it.
Hello everyone, I'm Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Pep Hack Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Mr. Ruchir Sood. He is an enthusiastic, innovative and self-disciplined individual. He has more than 9 years of experience and currently working as a brand owner of Hotel Works, brand head of the Viacom 18 hotel segment, consultant to multiple brands for branding and marketing activities, and psychotherapist as a freelancer. He has done BCom from Delhi University and post-graduation in marketing and HR from Indian Institute of Planning and international business from IMI Belgium. He has done HSK Level 3 certification in Chinese language as well. He has worked with multiple brands in hospitality sector, new age startups, from sales executive to brand head position. He is currently working as consultant with multiple brands for marketing activities, which is one of his forte as well, like expertise as well. So today he will be discussing with us about his life journey. So let us hear from him. Welcome Ruchir, the platform is open and now over to you.
थैंक यू वेरी मच, सच अ प्लेजर. आपने तो इतनी सारी चीजें बता दी मेरे बारे में, मतलब आई वाज लाइक शॉक्ड. ओके, लाइक आई वुड रादर से, लाइक अगर आप यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द जर्नी ऑफ अ बिजनेसमैन, सो जनरली इट स्टार्ट्स विद, एंड व्हेन वी स्टडी साइकोलॉजी आल्सो, दैट इज समथिंग वी लर्न दैट एवरीथिंग एंड योर पर्सनालिटी डेवलप्स ड्यूरिंग चाइल्डहुड स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम देयर. So I am born in a business family. It's even though the business was not that big, my father owned a small shop. Before that, he used to have a factory. Unfortunately, it was ceiling issues and everything happened there, and then it got converted into a smaller shop. And but since childhood, I was looking at my father, discussing business, looking at like profits. So that was something कहीं ना कहीं मेरे दिमाग में ना वो चीज बैठ गई थी कि this is one thing I would rather go into. I knew कि I will do bit of a job before getting into a business, because obviously that is how, if you come from a middle class background, this is how it moves. And my father also wanted me to have a bit of an experience before coming in, because he knew the finance capability of the house was something, the kind of business I was looking forward to obviously उससे कम ही थी, और मुझे कुछ ना कुछ तो गोल पहले खुद ही रीच आउट कुछ ना कुछ करने पड़ेंगे. बिफोर दैट इट वाज नॉट वेरी इजी टू एक्चुअली स्टार्ट विद. सो आई वाज ओके स्टूडेंट, नॉट सो गुड, डिसेंट, है ना, पास वगैरह हो जाता था मैं, तो दैट वाज गुड थिंग. किसी तरह हो रहा था. लेकिन एंड ऑफ द डे I would say the most of my learning used to happen, like my father used to go for purchase with me. Like Mondays used to be his off, and he used to go to markets like Karol Bagh and different areas, because my family came from a clothing background, cloth basically, fabric. So that ways I used to go to a lot of markets. I used to say, when I was 8-9 years old, I used to go with along with him, and used to understand like how he was doing. So it used to be a learning process for me over there. So it was interesting. I realized, okay, ठीक है, ये करा जा सकता है. Then I got into studies and everything. After my 12th, I did my BBA, MBA, the regular pathway of a person, I think, of my age. Because that became a thing that time. कि अब तो MBA करना ही पड़ता है, सबको ही करना है, ठीक है. So I did it. I would rather say I did my MBA first, then got into a job. It was a corporate office job. First, I worked for Intercontinental Hotel Group. So I was part of their business development team. So technically looking at mice segment much more. So room and mice we used to sell over there.
Great.
And
so we will talk about all these things in detail. But before that, I'd like to know about how did your past life has affected the person you wanted to be in your life. Like you would be having certain thoughts that you want to do in life, and what exactly you are doing now. So what is the difference between them?
Okay. So currently, like previously, I was discussing with you, I got into business because I always felt like business was my calling. The job was going decent enough, everything was fine, family was also happy, but I was like, I was not happy with that. I never had a salaried thought process. I always was looking forward to if I'm doing something extra, I would like to have the benefit to me. So
Right.
that was the idea. That is how I wanted it to be, and hence I got into job. But like I saw my father struggling a lot with his businesses because end of the day it was a very you can say purely very Indianized business where one it was a one man show. He was doing whole information, whatever he had was the thing, and all the capabilities only he was bringing in. So nowadays, if you look into a bigger picture, if you see businesses, then you will see that now people come in with lot of thought process. They have different teams to run different areas. वरना there used to be a time businesses में HR क्या है, sales अलग क्यों है, advertising क्यों होगी, brand का नाम क्या है, ये सब कोई सोचता भी नहीं था. ये एक
Correct.
ऐसा समय था. And looking at it कि how the struggle certain things work for my father, certain things were not able to move forward. I realized branding में strength तो है. Even if you today, if you ask me, like I come from a fabric background, अगर आप देखेंगे तो a lot of people are moving towards malls and different areas to go and do their own purchase. If I'm talking about millennials especially, or maybe people generation Z which is going forward, so they are moving towards multinationals or maybe more towards the spaces which are groomed enough. And the idea and the power is branding only. They know that okay, this is a brand, I can definitely go there, यहाँ से मेरे को सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, I can get it under one roof. So I realized branding में एक power तो है ही. So MBA के बाद I was like I got into a job. होटल्स में कर रहे थे, उसके बाद आई डिड बिट ऑफ फ्रेंचाइजिंग आल्सो. व्हाइल वर्किंग ऑन अ फ्रेंचाइज आई रियलाइज ब्रांड की पावर क्या होती है, एंड दैट रूटेड मी टू माय स्टार्टअप व्हिच वी वर डिस्कसिंग नॉट ऑन मैप. सो
Right.
हाँ, तो ब्रांडिंग की पावर तो वहीं से निकल कर आई है. I
Great.
realized like so while making it, I was discussing the brand with booking.com once, and then they told me आप इसको भी booster program में add कर सकती है. And last thing I know, okay, next thing I know, I was there in Amsterdam promoting my brand.
Wonderful. So when you were growing, like you saw your father doing businesses, and that
Hmm.
was the kicking point for you that you wanted to be a entrepreneur. So that's really
Definitely.
wonderful. Now, if I talk about things you are passionate in your life, so what are those things?
If you ask me, apart from all the, I'll say entertainment, like movies, music, and these things, because I like music a lot. I play guitar myself. We have a small band, sometimes play in lounges. But if we take away all those things and entertainment part, then I'm really passionate about one. I'm really passionate about the welfare of animals. I'm a part of Rendicos. Keep going there. I have one indie at my place also. So Abhi, I was just walking him before we started with an interview. So I'm really passionate about welfare of animals. One thing. Secondly, human psychology. That is a topic for me. Hence, I got into it. I read it. I'm helping a lot of businessmen achieving their goals or the problems they are facing during their business. The mental state of a businessman came really forward when COVID times hit, because for a year or so we were technically sitting at home not doing anything.
Right.
And that was the time many people saw something which they were able to build. At the same time, it just went away, and it was like starting from a new thing, square one, which was not very easy. So that time I realized, okay, that is something, because you know what, when people were doing their jobs, it was relatively still they were able to go back to, even though the journey was not easy to for them also. Many people lost their jobs, then they came back again. They got a new one. Sometimes it was not at the same level as it was before, but at the same time for the businessman it was more like this thing he created just went away.
Correct. So, really wonderful that you have been working with all these segments. So, if I talk
Mhm.
about your work and experiences, like how you started your career, what all you did so far, how
Mhm.
you got into
Mhm.
like starting your own business and other ventures.
So, like my first job used to be the business development one, like I told you about. It was a mix of sales and marketing. During my first job, we used to visit a lot of corporates, associations, and businessmen, because when you are in hotel, you go to such areas to bring in business. While meeting them again and again, creating my relation in the market, I know every single day I was meeting 10 new people, and all of them were at a stage where they could have helped me with certain other things also. But that time I was just selling hotels. but the relation was still there, because for a year or so they were looking at my face. I'm also meeting them again and again, so I became a familiar entity to them also. And I would rather say connection is a big part. If you want to do business, you want to get into your own business, you have to go into the market, you have to build your own network. Network is one thing. If we talk about today's business agenda, today's ecosystem, if we are talking about business ecosystem right now, so the major thing is investment is something you can still bring in. Idea is something you can still build in. But at the same time, आपका network नहीं बनता. Network is something you have to go in the market, sit with them, realize, talk to them, understand, and be of use to them. तो एक नेटवर्किंग होना बहुत जरूरी है. ड्यूरिंग माय फर्स्ट जॉब, आई थिंक इवन while not realizing it, my networking was going really strong.
Right.
And hence the door opened for my startup also. And abhi right now viacom 18 के साथ I'm a business consultant, I'm brand head over there. And same, the network was there.
Wonderful. So, if I talk about your vision, mission, and goal for next 5 to 10 years from now, what do you think that should be?
Well, currently we are already working on another startup. It is not in the hospitality phase right now, so it is not in the similar segment. We are moving more towards. We are going to launch a brand in psychotherapy. So that is one thing. In definitely 5 years, I want it to be like growing like anything. So it is already past Genesis stage. The website and everything is ready. We are going to open with this very strongly. That is one part of the thing, and that way I want a lot of people to come in for the some similar work, coming in and understand that okay, this is one part of human life we should be paying a lot of attention to. So in next 5 years, definitely I'm going to concentrate on that a lot. And 10 years, I think after 5 years I'll decide about after 5. Right now more in the movement kind of a person.
Great. So, if I talk about the most important life lessons you have learned from your personal and professional journey so far, so what are those things?
First of all, you have to understand one thing. Only you and you can help yourself. If you think somebody else will come and help you, whether it's your family, your spouse, your girlfriend, boyfriend, friends, no one can help you if you're not helping yourself. If you want to achieve anything, you have to become that person who's achieving it, instead of understanding or feeling like okay, कोई ये मेरे लिए कुछ करेगा, ये मेरे लिए कुछ करेगा, कोई कुछ नहीं करेगा, आपको खुद करना पड़ेगा. If you are not understanding it, if you are having trouble understanding it, you will lose out few of your year thinking okay, a help may come in. But the moment you will realize help was all inside you and you can help yourself, I think that was the day you can start progress. So that is one thing. Secondly, अपने network को कभी छोटा मत करो. Try to go to different areas, try to meet different kind of people, and be respectful to everyone. You never know कि कौन सा जना लाइफ में आपके किस जगह पे काम आ सकता है या क्या उसकी स्पेस हो सकती है. तो अपने नेटवर्क पे बहुत ध्यान देना है. अपने आप में बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस की जरूरत है. Anything which is not good for your confidence technically will take away all the business, all the success from you. So ये तो करना ही.
Correct.
And be humble enough while doing it.
हाँ, बहुत ज़रूरी है, and it is really important you work on all these aspects. It will help you grow your business as well as like it will help you to be a mentally stable person who can manage businesses well.
Because business is all about like it's like a lifeline. It goes like this. It is never straight.
Right. So, like you have been working in marketing, branding, and advertising related fields so far. So, how, I need your advice on one thing, like how we can create a brand which can resonate with people.
Okay. So, first you have to understand if you're trying to build a brand from square one, like I think you're asking from the square one, right?
Yes.
How we just start with. First of all, you have to understand the problem which is happening in the market. It can be in any segment. A problem can be like I was talking about the therapy part. Problem can be people are not getting a good haircut or maybe not getting a good food according to their taste. So there has to be a problem first. It has to be the genuine one. If you can actually, while working on that problem, if you can solve it better than someone else, and if you're giving some kind of an alternative maybe, which is in the market, but at the same time you are giving an alternative, then that is the first part. From there you can start. Secondly, you have to be passionate about that particular thing. If you feel, because it is going to be a long journey, it is going to be a continuous journey. You will never arrive. That's a fact. It'll keep going, it'll keep going, it'll keep going. So you have to be a little passionate about it. From the starting, once you have the good idea, if you feel like, okay, this is the idea, it seems like it can solve some problem, you have to understand the structure you want to create around it. आपको एक बेसिक स्टार्टिंग समझनी पड़ेगी. उसके बाद once your things are ready, you have to create a business case out of it and really make a good one. It can take a year to create the good business case. Take your time. Don't go and make something which is not resonating with you. So create that kind of a business case. And secondly, if the business case is having a problem, you can self-invest into it. You can bring in a lot of CVs. They are in the market. A lot of people who would like to invest in you if they feel okay, this thing can turn into a success. So first you have to understand what can turn into a success. And once the investment come in, you have to understand the different blank areas also. You can bring in more money towards the business. Till that time it becomes a success.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if we talk about advertising and marketing part, like how the strategy of the organization should be.
It totally depends on brand to brand. Like advertising is changing a lot. Trust me. When I started with advertising, it used to be more about TV ads. It used to be more about YouTube only. Celebrities used to be maybe sports people, maybe someone from Bollywood, maybe that used to be the thing. PR activities used to be very different. Nowadays, if you look at it, whole world is changing. Social media has taken over. Influencers are not less than celebrity right now. They can bring in a lot of eyeballs to your product. And when it comes to advertising and marketing, that is something which is like, that is basically, you can say that is the vision you are giving to your client. बिकॉज आपके ब्रांड को कोई कैसे देखता है, वो आपको तभी देखता है जब आप उसको अपनी एडवर्टाइजिंग या मार्केटिंग से दिखाते हैं उस ब्रांड को. देयर आर टू थिंग्स, आइदर इट इज हैपनिंग ऑर्गेनिकली और यू क्रिएट इट, but both ways it should be there. Even having a good design to your logo is a part of advertising, and it should have the essence of your brand to it. So you have to do it, and that essence should never be should never leave the brand. अगर आप किसी सेलिब्रिटी को भी ला रहे हैं, आप इन्फ्लुएंसर मैनेजमेंट कर रहे हैं, आप PR एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं, it should be according to your brand. I've seen many people going out of way thinking कि okay, they have to it should be advertised in that matter or this way, but end of the day, अगर वो brand specific नहीं है, it doesn't matter who's doing that for you.
Right.
So it has to be very brand specific when it comes to advertising.
Correct,
और अब तो बहुत सारे channels आ चुके हैं. Advertising is not that costly either right now. If you're smart enough, trust me, you can bring in a lot of eyeballs without actually giving a lot of sum in the market.
Correct. So we can summarize it in 4 points. First is you need to have an idea which is unique in its own nature. Second thing is you should work on it and convert idea into business. Third is once that has happened, then you need to think about investing yourself first to create an first product itself. And then you can go to market to raise funds if required, or if not required, bootstrapping is one thing you can always do. And when it comes to advertising, marketing, promotion, branding, so you need to identify who is your actual customer, and on the basis of that you can use any social media or maybe TV, print, whatever you feel like is suitable to target,
or maybe print media
also, to target a specific.
But there was one thing I really forgot in between. One thing I really wanted to say and I forgot in between: always trust the data, because any idea which you are having in your head is an opinion. So it can be your opinion, but market can be working really differently.
Right. Data is equally important. Whatever trigger points you are getting from so far activities you have done, from the responses of your idea, maybe you have pitched to different investors. So that is also a point where you can get some feedback. You can use that. Also, when you are advertising, marketing, the first cut data which you are getting, the responses of the users, that also can built in as a branding strategy on a next level. So that will help you out create a brand. And also you really pointed out that this is not one-time activity. This is a continuous process. So you need to be authentic every time you are presenting your product details to the market. Also, you need to be precise about your product and services. You should not be vague enough, like sharing one, your idea is one thing, your business is one thing, and you are talking about other thing. You should be relevant always as well. So if you follow these things,
because now here's the thing, I think businesses also have a life cycle. Like us human beings, it do have a life cycle, and we have to understand where it is, and we have to work accordingly. So continuous it is. That is for sure.
Correct. And you can work with trends, what is happening in market. That can also be added point to it. So
It it can definitely be.
that's really wonderful. So, if I talk about what are the challenges startup face when they are working for the branding, like when they are working out to create a brand, there are certain challenges. What are those?
I'll go one by one, which I think start from the very beginning how you feel, what kind of problem. Because first of all, startup में सबसे मुश्किल पार्ट तो ये होता है कि आपने एक ब्रांड तो बना दिया, सोचा दिमाग में कि ऐसा कुछ ब्रांड बनना है, ऐसी कुछ
हाँ,
प्रॉब्लम है, इस पे हम वर्क करेंगे, ये सब तो होता है। बट अपने आप को कंटिन्यूअसली मोटिवेटेड रखना कि हाँ ये हो रहा है और इस पे हम लोग वर्क कर सकते हैं, सो दैट इज वन पार्ट ऑफ द चैलेंज फॉर श्योर। सेकेंडली, आपके ब्रांड को कोई, आपके स्टार्टअप को कोई पहचानता नहीं है स्टार्टिंग में। सो first, people don't take you seriously at times till the time you arrive. So you have to create a seriousness about a brand. You have to create a solid case so that everyone should understand कि ठीक है, इसके ऊपर वर्क करा जा सकता है, कुछ स्ट्रॉन्ग कुछ आ रहा है मार्केट में, वो चीज करना बहुत जरूरी है। मैनिंग की प्रॉब्लम बहुत ज्यादा होती है स्टार्टअप्स को, बिकॉज पीपल रियली डोंट वांट टू जॉइन यू इन स्टार्टिंग।
करेक्ट।
उस समय आपको कई बार एक अच्छे टीम मेंबर नहीं मिलते हैं, कई बार अच्छे टीम मेंबर मिलते भी हैं तो वो थोड़ा जल्दी लूज आउट कर देते हैं होप। तो आपको अपने साथ साथ अपने टीम मेंबर को मोटिवेटेड रखना है। एंड व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्टार्टअप, बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स क्या आती हैं। एक तो देयर विल ऑलवेज बी अ शॉर्ट ऑफ मनी इन स्टार्टिंग। अगर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट्स भी ले आते हो, विच मेनी पीपल ब्रिंग इन, कई बार होता क्या है, दे डोंट गो वेरी स्मार्ट विद द इन्वेस्टमेंट। उन्हें लगता है ठीक है, आ गई है, सेकंड राउंड हो जाएगा, फिर से आ जाएगी, बट ऐसा कई बार होता नहीं है और दे एंड अप लूजिंग लॉट ऑफ मनी इन द स्टार्टिंग। और बाद में बहुत कम पैसे होते हैं उनके पास एम्प्लॉइज के लिए, बाहर मार्केट में करने के लिए। आई हैव एक्चुअली वर्कड एज अ कंसल्टेंट ऑन सम ब्रांड। ब्रांड वाज वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग फ्रॉम द प्रोडक्ट, बहुत अच्छे थे। इंडिया में ऐसे प्रोडक्ट, इट वाज फ्रॉम द साउथ एंड प्रोडक्ट ऐसे मैंने इंडिया में नहीं देखे थे जो बनाए थे। एंड दे वर डायरेक्टली competing with products from Russia, because that particular industry, Russia is like a market leader in that industry. और उसके साथ compete भी कर रहे थे, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम यही थी कि लोग उन लोगों को मोटिवेटेड नहीं रख पाए। सेकेंडली, स्टार्टिंग में बहुत ज्यादा मनी लूज कर दी, बाद में उनके पास था ही नहीं और राउंड हो नहीं पाया उसके बाद। तो आपको इसमें यू हैव टू बी वेरी मनी सेंट्रलाइज, आपको बहुत स्मार्ट रहना होता है अपने पैसे के साथ।
Okay, right. So these are few of the challenges. There would be more, but these are more basic challenges which every startup face initial when they are working initially. So guys, don't forget to work on all these things, important areas. So Ruchir, if I talk about you now again, so are you an introvert or an extrovert kind of a person when you meet people or when you face your audiences?
I would say I'm a public chameleon. So whenever I go in the market, I'm a good observer. I would like to observe things first about a person. थोड़ा साइकोलॉजी वगैरह भी पढ़ी है, तो थोड़ा सा मुझे एक ह्यूमन इंटरेक्शन में इंटरेस्ट है। आई कैन बी बिट ऑफ एन इंट्रोवर्ट व्हाइल मीटिंग अ पर्सन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, बट आई थिंक उसके बाद तो आई एम एन एक्सट्रोवर्ट। तो इट डिपेंड्स, मतलब आई एम लिटिल सिलेक्टिव इन माय सराउंडिंग्स, दैट्स ऑल।
So what is the plus or minus of the same is?
Being an introvert and an extrovert?
Like being about what you are, like how your nature is.
Okay, so the good part about it is because I'm not a type of person who will just go and start talking a lot. So it gives me a bit of time to understand my surrounding, understand people. Sometimes I've actually gone and saved myself by just being quiet in lot of scenarios. So थोड़ा बहुत benefit तो होता ही है अगर आप, if you are very selective about your talk, but at the same time you have to be like, you have to be able to present yourself. तो इसका benefit भी है, मतलब once you understand your surrounding, you can talk like that. तो इसका benefit तो आता ही है फिर।
Correct. So being introvert at sometimes you try to understand your surrounding, people who are talking, people who are presenting. So once you get a grab of the data which you are getting from outer sources, you can process that data in terms
then
of,
you can process and become extrovert accordingly. You have to have a general likability to your personality also.
Correct. So when you present, then your communication would be much more effective as a presenter.
Because a lot of people, I think, sorry, I'm bringing that again into the communication, that if you go and break anyone's personality, one thing, any person, I would rather say any entity in this world, even animals, they all are looking for affirmation. So affirmation is one thing you can only provide to a person after you understand the person. And if you have that personality where people find bit of information in you, trust me, they can move things for you and they would like to be around you.
Correct.
And that is the beauty of this world.
They love to interact with you and communicate with you. That is the best part.
Definitely. Haji.
So that's great to hear. If I talk about the kind of support you got in your journey from the people around, who were the people supported you the most?
I would say my father supported a lot. Somewhere, even while understanding कि अच्छा सैलरी अच्छी है, सब कुछ है, क्या दिक्कत क्या है, क्यों क्यों अपने उसके साथ आप फिर से रीस्टार्ट करना चाहते हो लाइफ को, और why you want to restart your career into a different segment of life. So, but somewhere he understood, because I think he was like that when he was my age. He wanted to build something, he went and he did it, and he never came from a family with a lot of financial ability, but he was able to do it. And when I think I tried to do the same thing, I started with the same journey. He was like, ठीक है, कुछ नहीं होता, करो, कर लोगे, अगर लगे रहोगे तो कर लोगे. So my father was definitely a big support.
Correct, and he rightly pointed out, अगर लगे रहोगे तो कर लोगे, which is really important. Most of the time, what
you have
happens
to be.
is people lose hope when they don't see success immediately. Like when they start within 6 months to 1 year. If they don't see any kind of success, they lose hope and they try to shift back to the job or maybe to other business. So that
Because
happens.
मुझे ना कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि लोग ना बिजनेसेस को के साथ बहुत इम्पेशेंट हो जाते हैं. जब आप जॉब करना स्टार्ट करते हो, आपकी फर्स्ट सैलरीज कोई बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रांग नहीं होती हैं. यू जस्ट स्टार्ट विद, राइट? सेम विद द बिजनेस ऑल्सो. जब आप स्टार्ट करते हो, जरूरी नहीं है कि वो बहुत ज्यादा पैसा लेके आएगा, लेकिन विद बिजनेसेस समहाउ पीपल आर इन दिस जनरली ऑडियंस थिंक्स कि ओके यार, 1-2 साल में कुछ बड़ा ही हो जाना चाहिए. बट ऐसा कई बार नहीं होता है. इफ योर जॉब कैन टेक गुड 5-6 years, 7 years टू मेक यू रीच समवेयर, then your business can also take that kind of a time.
And
तो वो
also-
होना बहुत जरूरी है. हाँ.
Also, if you persistently do your business for 5 years and you do job for 5 years, the growth you see in business would be like, could be anything. You can make a unicorn in 5 years, but in job you cannot reach the highest position in the job. So there is a huge like bet on businesses, and that demand a lot. You need to put your hard effort initially very much higher as compared to job.
Definitely, because if you are being lackey in any kind of a segment when it comes to business, you are just doing it to yourself, no one else.
Right. Any other people supported you in your journey?
My siblings were very nice about it. They were like कि हाँ, करा जा सकता है. Initially my sister, because she was in the similar industry where I got the job, she was not very happy in the very beginning. She was like कि देख ले, कर ले, you are already doing good in this. I'm getting good, like all the colleagues in the market, they talk really good about you and they see a lot of future in you when it comes to this segment, this industry. But I was like, I couldn't see myself doing that. So siblings were there, friends तो होते ही हैं, but friends के साथ मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊं, मेरा एक पर्सनली मानना है, फ्रेंडशिप्स आर समथिंग जिसमें कभी कोई इंटेंशन नहीं होनी चाहिए. यू शुड बी लाइक, इट शुड बी लाइक देयर एंड देयर थिंग कि आपके दोस्त आपके साथ हैं चाहे कुछ भी है. सो दैट इज द वे माय फ्रेंड्स आर. मेरे जितने भी दोस्त हैं, आई हैव अ वेरी स्मॉल ग्रुप, बट एट द सेम टाइम मेरे जितने भी जो भी हैं वो 15-16 साल 17 साल से मेरे दोस्त हैं.
Right.
क्योंकि आई लाइक इट दैट वे. सो फॉर माई फ्रेंड्स, ट्रस्ट मी, उन्हें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता था जब मैं एक सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव था, उन्हें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि मैं कोई बिजनेस कर रहा हूँ, उन्हें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि मैं थेरेपी कर रहा हूँ. उनको हम तेरे दोस्त हैं. आई थिंक विदाउट डूइंग एनीथिंग दे सपोर्टेड मी अ लॉट दैट वे, बिकॉज़ आई ऑलवेज न्यू they will never change towards.
Correct. That is the beauty of friendship. Is wonderful to hear about that. So if I talk about motivation and inspiration in your life, what are the ways you get your motivation and inspiration from?
I'll say first, for me the ultimate luxury is having a time to myself, and I really get motivated when I see कि okay, मैंने कुछ बनाया, वो कुछ grow हो रहा है, लोगों के लिए एक help हो रही है उससे. I'm able to give an alternative at least in the market, so it motivates me कि it's like a plant, you grow it and you can see it happening. Secondly, when I see I can now manage my own time accordingly. Like today in the morning we were planning to do this. I could have done it. Why? Because I could have managed my time. So having time to myself, it gives me luxury. When I get this luxury, I definitely get motivated.
Great. So that's really wonderful. So if I talk about your take on success, what do you feel success is to you?
First, it's very personal. So first of all, हम ना बहुत ज्यादा मूवीज देखते हैं मुझे लगता है, और हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा टीवी देखते हैं, हम बहुत ज्यादा सक्सेस स्टोरीज पढ़ते हैं, एंड उसकी वजह से ना वी ह्यूमन बीइंग्स टेंड टू थिंक सक्सेस ये होती है, बट एनीथिंग विच गिव्स यू हैप्पीनेस, इफ यू आर लिविंग योर लाइफ अकॉर्डिंग टू योर ओन थिंग, आप अपने हिसाब से जी रहे हो, अपना टाइम मैनेज कर रहे हो, योर फाइनेंसेस आर समवेयर सॉर्टेड, योर सराउंडिंग्स लाइक्स यू, you're already successful over it. हाँ, environment को hurt मत करिए please, and then don't claim कि you are successful if you are earning good money but you're doing really bad towards the environment, because that's the home we actually live in.
Right.
So be a good person first. I think success will follows. अच्छा इंसान बनना आजकल success है.
That's true, because we have responsibility towards environment, towards people around us, animal around us. So we have to think for their benefit as well. So when we work on all the aspects on us as well as surroundings, definitely we will get success. So
definitely your network will vary a lot also.
yes,
Because there will be a lot of like-minded people you can have a general, genuine, heart-to-heart conversation with, and that is where your network comes in. Trust me.
right.
It is more personal in nature than what people think at times.
Definitely. So we are moving on to the last one. Any message, advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Take everything one day at a time. Don't be so pressurizing on yourself. First, आप अपना confidence build करो. Don't expect कि बहुत लोग आपकी help कर पाएंगे starting में या कुछ हो सकता है. But if you are clear about it, आपको ये करना है. It may take 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year. It will happen for you. So don't create a lot of pressure. And at the same time, even if it won't happen, trust me, I've seen a lot of people, because I'm somewhere part of health industry. I've seen a lot of people who are really old, they never gave it a chance. So people who do give a chance, अगर वो नहीं भी होता, कभी हो सकता है आगे हो जाए, शायद ना भी हो, but at least that is something you can live with.
Right.
Not starting is not an option. That is something which will haunt you throughout your life. Start. Agar if you're thinking one thing again and again, you should give it a try at least once.
Correct. So you rightly pointed out on this thing, like best way to see things is like create a perspective, what you want to do and what you need to do to build that. That is also equally important. और बाकी अगर आप ठान लो करना है तो obviously there are ways.
नहीं, वो डेफिनेटली हो जाएगा. अगर आप कर रहे हो, गलतियां करोगे, स्टार्टिंग में बहुत करोगे, उसके बाद कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएगा.
करेक्ट, बट लगे रहो मुन्ना भाई.
बिल्कुल लगी रहना.
करेक्ट. So that was really amazing discussion with you. You have shared so many insights about the branding, the
and pleasure is all mine. Come on. Pleasure is all mine. Things. Trust me.
And you have shared your story too, like how you built your business, what all you're doing in your life. So that's really wonderful, Ruchir. I really enjoyed the conversation and looking forward to hearing from you again soon, maybe on topics you have keen interest about psychology. So maybe next time we can talk about that as well. And thanks for coming here. Really enjoyed the discussion. I'll also share your social media link with people along with the interview, so that they can be in touch with you, take your help and guidance related to the areas you are working on. So guys, don't forget to check it out too. Thank you so very much everyone for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you and bye-bye.